and welcome to Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry, the Let's Try program here on the Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name's Ian Horner, and joining me today is, well, it's getting unusual now at this point.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I'm Cameron.
Yeah.
But I'm, yeah,
And you're
happy to be here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You are happy to be here. I am happy you are here as well.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Good. Now that we've got that out of the way. We're back working on our long running projects. You've got these
Silver Tower miniatures.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one of Games Workshop's self-contained games, and I've been working on these minis for like 4 or 5 years now.
Yep. It's basically a second job at this point.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm continuing to put together this pile of parts that hopefully, God willing, in tonight we'll be able to hook up and get a Dreamcast, or not a Dreamcast, a Naomi, the Sega arcade version of the Dreamcast running. This is not a Naomi, this is a JAMA. Wait, no, this is a kick harness, I believe.
What game are you going to play first once you get it up and running?
Well, the first game I'm going to be playing is probably one of the ones that we have here. So that'll be either Guilty Gear Double X or Sports Jam.
No Chew Rocket?
No Choo Choo Rocket
Oh.
on disc. But if we get these things wired up properly, then the next thing we'll be moving on to tonight is setting this thing up for NetBoot, which means using a Raspberry Pi to serve up disk images rather than using the disk. And then the true end to this saga will be realized, which is playing Lupin III: The Typing. It's a reskin, or actually not even a reskin. It uses the House of the Dead engine, which has been remade into The Typing of the Dead, and then reskinned and remade with Lupin characters and plot.
Naturally.
Yeah. It's been a long road getting from there to here. Hey,
And then, so tonight we have Beej on camera and Corey on board.
Yeah.
So thanks to our crew.
Buckle up and let's get to it. So first thing I'm going to be doing here is trying to figure out, I've got a JAMA pinout chart on my trusty Mac OS X Hackintoshed ThinkPad, which we have seen on the show before. It's up and running finally. And yeah, we've done the wiring necessary on these guys as well. Let me pop them open here to show that off. We've got ourselves the DB, these 15s? Yeah, DB15 connectors. D-sub, that's it. 15-pin D-subs. Wired up to the interior of the fight sticks. They're all very nice and pretty. And yeah, it's going to be a case of matching things up to what they're supposed to be on the JAMA harness, which is going to be fun, I just realized. So let's get to it, shall we? First things first, gotta find out who killed my dad. No, that's Kill la Kill. That's a different thing entirely.
Gotta get up, gotta get going, gotta meet a friend of mine. He's round it and he's on.
Thanos?
He's Pooh Bear Winnie the Pooh.
We
Hold
certainly...
on. Okay, we're good.
Checking for strokes? Yeah, we certainly grew up in a certain era. God, I saw the trailer for that film just the other night. Not
The Christopher Robin one?
Yes. And yeah, that looks fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Christmas movies, you know?
Yeah.
It's the sort of thing that's okay to do. There are too many, far too many pins on these boards. First thing we're going to look for, why don't we start with some of our buttons? Why not? There should be buttons on here. Coin counter 2, coin counter 1, key slot, 12 volt, 5 volt, 5 volt, ground, speaker, NC, video, service video, tilt slam switch, test switch, coin switch, player to start. Okay, good. Start. That's something we can work on. 17 and U. which is different from 23andMe, I'm led to believe. But
Are you guys watching any DuckTales?
I am not. How is it?
It's good.
Good. It deserves to be.
I've watched a couple episodes, and I enjoyed what I saw, and all of the everything I read about it tells me that, yeah, this looks like it's going to continue to be good.
I heard that Darkwing Duck exists in DuckTales, but he's a fictional character.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like the kids read Darkwing Duck comics.
That seems to make sense from a certain point of view.
But how is Launchpad?
That's a good. Unless Launchpad is the character that or is the person that the character of Launchpad in the comics is based on.
Maybe.
Oof. That's a deep one. 17 and U. That's. There we go. T and U.
The reason I mentioned how are you guys liking DuckTales, or if you're watching DuckTales, is because in one of the most recent episodes, they tease the gummy bears.
Really?
Yeah.
As people who exist, or?
As ancient mystical beings that taught people how to make a specific style of potion.
Oh, a gummy berry juice?
They leaned into it so hard. It was amazing.
Bouncing here and there
Where?
and everywhere. High adventure that's beyond compare.
They even used
They
the...
are the gummy bears.
They did like weird like freezes of like here's some like silhouettes, and the silhouette they used was a product like basically the hero shot of all 6 of them standing together in their poses, and they just used that as a silhouette, and I'm like, oh come on, you didn't even like you literally gave us the same silhouette of what we could just go online and see when you Google gummy bears. I was like, oh my goodness.
Beach, could you get me a piece of masking tape, a Sharpie, and a mic? Oh, good, you're mic'd. Good. No, I know that they've mentioned Cape Suzette as well on the show, which is yeah, meaning that that's a place that exists. Spoonerville is mentioned. The town of the Goofs.
I'm glad that we're getting a whole Disney afternoon cinematic universe going here.
Yeah.
When that TFW, you smell the franchise.
My feeling on what they did with Darkwing Duck is that it's probably going to be like he is a cartoon, or rather he is a TV show, but he is based on a real thing that happened. You know, like Batman.
Yeah, absolutely. The based on Deflator Mouse, I believe.
Oh wow. Check out this old school referencing. Oh, good. I've already started clipping some things out of this and then realized the folly of my ways. So this is going to be the player 1 harness, I believe. And it already has. Or did I clip that side? I think this side does have a black coming to it, right? Black wire? Somewhere in here? Anywhere? Maybe not. Well, that might be a problem. No. Okay, that ground goes to there, and then this one single ground goes to here. Okay. I guess you only need the one ground then? How many buttons are we supposed to connect with this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then a blank end. I think that's going to be, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 buttons. Wait, on one side. You know what? Let's just start connecting things up.
Did you need a finer tipped Sharpie than that?
No, I just needed to mark this out to
Okay.
figure out where these things are going to. Okay. Well, let's start with a button that we know. Up sounds like a good one. which I think is going to be... Oh, wait, we can use our handy-dandy tester to find out. Ooh, I need to clean some flux off that. Especially if it's going to go back to Princess Auto at some point.
Just gonna straight up return it, or
Maybe. That's down. Down is red. Great. That's one we can deal with. That is pin 19, which is a orange cable. And all right, let's get that orange out of there, and that goes to... Red comes out of there and goes into middle, second from the top, so I'm going to say port 4 on that D-sub. So now we need to pop open the D-sub connectors, find the receptive pins, not the transmissive pins, and get it in there. Well, we might as well. Now, wait a second. Good. No, we need the transmissive pins, not the receptive pins, the transmissive. Right, we did this in a weird way. Okay, which means we might as well actually just get right into it. Where is my wire stripper? There you are. There you are. And let's crimp that off there. And then strip just enough to be useful. Let's find a pin. Put this to the side. Thinking about which or what to do in general.
yeah. Well, he's got these runes that are the Dwarven Slayer, or sorry, the Fire. No, he's a Slayer. He's a Slayer. He's a Dwarven Slayer. I don't care what stupid name they gave him in the reboot. Has like these gold runes hammered into his skin. Mm-hmm. You can see them on his back there, and they're literally magical gold hammered into his skin.
Oh wow!
But I'm worried that the contrast on the gold won't be super clear. So I'm wondering if I could maybe having them glow like a eldritch blue. Ooh. And that might work better with the elf, whose magical gear also glows blue. Give a bit of like unified look to it. You know?
How much energy do you need to make gold emit Cherenkov radiation?
Glowing white hot? Probably enough to incinerate a dwarf, I
Cool.
guess.
So blue's fine then. Blue works.
I believe you mean black body radiation?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was actually speaking.
Cherenkov,
yeah.
like just emit black holes, like a black hole.
Yeah, like just can you fire enough energy into a gold atom just to have it release a photon?
Well, yeah.
Physics.
I mean, I'm sure there's probably people who have done physics here who are like, that's actually what a reflection is. I mean, yeah.
Oh, good. Now it's time to once again play the game of, hey, does Ian know how to crimp a thing?
Good game.
Yeah.
What's the score?
The score is actually pretty good. Because we've done two full D-subs, so it's about 15, let's say.
I've heard those 5x3, 3 rows of 5 D-subs, also referred to as HD15.
Huh.
Yeah, because there are, I guess, technically a D-sub connector that's 8 and 7, like a printer port, also has 15 pins. So they had to come up with an alternate way of saying it's a D-sub 15. Wait, no, I mean the other one.
Thanks, computer people.
Yeah. That's looking pretty good.
Yeah, that's in there. Now the question is, does it transmit data? Yep, that's a pin.
Good enough for a joystick controller.
Yeah, now the question is, how do I get them in there? Because I'm pretty sure these had to be shoved pretty deep. Oof. Yep, this is gonna be a fun one. I might actually not be able to do this. In which case, we might have to do an alternate task today. Okay, this was supposed to be 4, right? So it matches up with. Because I didn't keep the colors consistent. Perfect. Good. Good. That is going to work there. Oh, yeah. Go in. Huh.
Can you grab it from the other side and pull it through?
No. That's once you. So yeah, let's get that through there and let's just see. So right now it's sitting up against the edge where it needs some pressure.
Ah, yeah.
Not sure if you can get in there.
Yeah, you can focus on a
so
tiny
you
little bit
can't
there.
actually see the pin. You can see the pin in the hole, but you can't see it coming out. So let's see if we can twist and push just a bit. I don't want to bend it. I mean, it's probably going to get bent, but. Oh yeah, that goes just in, and then very conveniently goes that far and gets. Yeah, you can get it just past the point. Will you go in any farther? I doubt you will. Oh, nope. Well, that was a. That's unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. Okay, well, that tells me what I can do today, and it's not what I thought I could.
Oh no.
That's okay. In that case, this is garbage. This one is still okay. That just means that I'm going to need to pick up some little keys to push these through. But is there a way that I can deal with this without having to get in there? These will not help me. This will not help me. Neither will that. Okay, cool. And by cool, I mean whoops. Right, I guess we might need to move directly ahead to the netboot setup. Cam has a pinning kit, right?
Should. Where are my... I've got a paper clip. I usually have a box of paper clips in here.
We have
I
many.
don't have
safety
any...
pins.
No, wait, I also have brass rod.
Oh, okay, that kind of pinning kit.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, that's unfortunately not going to help here. But oh wait, what is that tool?
It's a pin drill.
A pin drill.
What kind of pinning kit are you talking about?
The one for, I guess maybe it's a keying kit then. It would be for pushing pins through a D-sub connector.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's
This is for when you need to have two fiddly bits of plastic,
ah
and then you drill a hole in one side and in the other side, and you connect them with a piece of brass rod,
oh,
and that way you get a lot more contact and surface area,
nice tightness.
and they don't slide against one another, so it becomes harder to initiate the kind of move that causes it to break.
Well, useful then. Very useful, but not for me.
Cool. That's all useless to me.
Give me something I can use, Otter. All right, let's pack this up.
Buckle up.
I mean, that is kind of what the purpose of this is, isn't it?
Time to take your temperature. Open wide. Think again.
Clean this up nicely later. Okay. I wonder if I can set up the Dreamcast keyboard for this. No, I don't think I can.
Do you need a normal keyboard?
No, we just need a Dreamcast keyboard, which we have. Just sitting here.
Yes.
And we've got the Dreamcast adapter for connect. We could do that. See how easy it is to connect the Dreamcast keyboard to the Naomi. But how about we see if we can get NetBoot working at all? That seems like a good use of our time here. All right. Put these pins up here. And let's go on to the internet and look up what we're supposed to be doing. Raspberry Pi and NetBoot. NetBoot, and we want Naomi. There we go. NetBoot with Raspberry Pi.
All I can think about is the song Naomi.
Who sings?
He did Airplane at Neutral Milk Hotel.
Oh. I'm very not familiar with their work.
Oh, he's good.
All right, so what we need is a Raspberry Pi. Got it. Case, optional but recommended. SD card, got it. Adafruit LCD shield. Well, we're not going to be using that. And crossover RJ45 cable. Why? Jumper wires with female connector. Why? I assume that's for the
Adafruit?
yeah, the LCD shield. Okay. Connect the power to the Raspberry Pi. Oh, cool. No, the idea is actually to use the 5-volt connection on here to power the Raspberry Pi.
Let's have a look at that.
That's a smart idea. Yeah, this little connector right up here. You've got 5 and ground on the far edge.
Ian, where
Yes.
does one go to get electronic bits and baubles now that Radio Shack has gone tits up?
Oh, wow. It locally? do you mean?
Yeah.
Locally, I would recommend Quail Electronics if you
Okay.
need something right now.
Right.
Quail Electronics / Island Electronics has a lot of
Okay.
stuff. If you're willing to wait a while, ordering online is a much better solution.
Where would you go? Like Monoprice or?
Depends what I'm looking for. SparkFun's a good place that has just about everything you'll need, but you'll pay North American prices for it. I constantly use Banggood as well as AliExpress is a good place for it.
Okay.
Or even eBay. Yeah,
Okay.
DigiKey, Mouser says Driosynth in the chat are good. Yeah, they're
I just remembered now that without Radio Shack, there's no place to really. I don't know where to go to just go through a bin of resistors.
yeah, that would definitely be Quail.
There are kits you can buy too. in that respect, where it's just like you can just buy a whole sorted kit. And I remember seeing on the Cool Tools blog that Donald Bell was talking about, like, oh, this is a really good kit because it has a good assortment of what you might need, or this is a better kit because this has weird resistors you never heard of before.
Huh. Neat.
Yeah. And they're generally all Amazon or eBay.
Okay.
Okay, apparently there's just software called PiForce.
Pi
Force 1.
Pi Force 1. Excuse me.
And apparently it just works as a, just straight up without any strange things. Let's find out where PiForce is. PiForce. PiForce Tools drives a Raspberry Pi with an Adafruit LCD plate and interfaces with debug modes. Triforce Tools will load a NetDim board for Triforce, Naomi, or Chihiro arcade system. Oh, that's a lot of different types. Nice.
Isn't Chihiro the second gen Sega system?
I believe yes. Chihiro arcade.
Okay. Okay. You know, that might work. I mean, it's clearly an homage to Woad, I guess. But
There they are.
yeah, we'll highlight that up to make it look like they're glowing. And oh, there's one under his braid. I don't know how I'm going to get that. Maybe we'll just pretend that isn't there.
Just file it down. Beej, fun fact, the Chihiro is actually the 2003 arcade machine by Sega, based off of the Xbox.
Ah, wild.
Yeah, so they keep doing that.
I guess in an arcade console, you could actually keep an original Xbox cooled.
Oof. I mean, they made it huge.
Yeah.
It's bigger than the Xbox itself.
The Canyonero of consoles.
All right.
Okay, I can work with this. A lot of miniature painting is like taking a step back, examining what you've got, imagining how it will look, and then implementing it, and then hoping to God you're right. Because stripping minis sucks.
Ooh, that does not sound like a good time.
It's just time intensive, and you have to like scrub them with a toothbrush after soaking them in like, I use Windex. Windex works, but engine degreaser. Now that'll take paint off.
That's
Also
the one you
strip
want.
all the moisture out of your fingers.
Ooh.
Even if you like reach in with gloves and put them down and then rinse them and then pick them up and handle them again. The organic engine degreaser, or the stuff that they sell here because you can put it down the drain, it works really well and it won't damage the plastic at all.
Is that citrus-based?
I don't know what it was. Whatever Home Depot sold. It was like a Home Depot brand. It came in like an opaque purple spray bottle.
Like made by Zepp?
I think so, yeah.
Questions for Ian. Given that he's interfacing decades-old technology, is it hard to find greebles and adapters for this stuff, or have we been using the same connectors and port standards since 1973? Yeah, kind of. We've been making new ports and adapters, but really, the old stuff, the old ways are best. Not best, but they do still exist, and they're a lot easier to work with for custom things. So I think that's why they're still in production. That's why hobbyists still like them.
When you're not constrained by the amount of, you're not constrained by the space in an arcade cabinet, right? You're like, I can use a big port if I want to.
Well, I think what we're talking about is like why not just repurpose a USB port? No, it's sometimes you need more than 4 connections, and that the USB A and USB C don't really they're not really made for hobbyists in mind to make their own things?
Would what you're doing tonight be recognizable to a grognard from the 70s or the 60s?
What I'm doing?
Like, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So they would just recognize, like, it would be going to a chip controller, which would be like a black box,
Oh, yeah, they
as
would-
far as anyone's concerned,
Like,
right? And they would just be like, oh, okay, it's taking this much voltage, this
Yeah,
many
he
amps,
wouldn't.
and-
He wouldn't even be thinking about it. Or well, first of all, it would probably be a he. Though not. No, 70s there was a good coverage. Could have been anyone, but they would say, yeah. First of all, you're doing it wrong. Get your key out and start punching it in properly. Also, get a proper crimp tool, you idiot. But yeah, what it's just they're just wires, and
Okay,
you're making something that's meant to be connected and disconnected. If it's not meant to be disconnected and disconnected, well, you should probably just solder the wires together.
Okay.
Ooh, this is unfortunate
Mm-hmm.
because the one problem that I wasn't able to solve yet, and I don't think we'll be able to with this laptop using Mac OS X, is the SD card reader. So if I want to write new SD software to the card, I gotta either use an adapter or boot through into Windows, which is what we will now do.
We have an SD card adapter in the office.
I'm booting to Windows.
All right.
Hey,
The happiest sound in computer construction.
beep, it posted.
Beep. Tick, 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 tick. 4 megabytes RAM detected. Yes! It even found the disk drive.
I'm super happy though with this, that it's all SSD.
Yo, anyone else remember having to write your own AutoExec bat and config sys files in order to play X-Wing?
Yeah, to get 612
Yeah.
kilobytes.
Yeah, memory free.
Yep. That was a dark art. Holy crap.
Yeah, there was that one article in PC Gamer though.
That told you how to like.
Yeah,
This is how
how
you
to-
get that and MSCDEX up and.
Yeah, and like you got to get your mouse drivers running. You want those in lower memory, but basically like your CD drive and your Sound Blaster,
Yeah.
all that has to go into upper memory. And here's how you do that.
Yeah. I did it using the MS-DOS 6 manual,
Mm-hmm.
and then
DOS 6, aren't we fancy?
I know, right? Because I had a DOS 5 manual. I read the DOS 5 manual cover to cover.
My
Which was-
dude.
So stupid. But I was like really wanting to like absorb what was going on with this thing because I was doing a lot of stuff in it, and I'm just like,
Oh
I
yeah,
will
yeah, yeah.
read this whole thing, and then DOS 6 comes out, and I'm like, I will do the same. The manual for DOS 6 is way thinner. I guess they assume you don't need as much technical information. So then I had to go looking for more, which turned into DOS and Windows for Dummies.
Right. Yeah, I remember my mom bought a copy of DOS for Dummies, and I'm like, really, a dummies book? And she's like, trust me.
Yeah. Like, oh, oh yeah.
There's lots of good stuff in here, actually. Thank you, Mom.
Mm-hmm. Those were good. They stopped being interesting to me at a certain point. The
Yeah.
Dummies books.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that, like, whatever for Dummies hired, like, they must have hired an ex-DOS person to write that book, because
Oh.
it was full of, like, really, really, like, insightful stuff on it.
Well, the guy, I think DOS for Dummies was the first of the series. So I have a feeling dude wrote the book, started the series,
Oh.
because he was really into it. And then he, I think, was the one who also ended up writing the Windows for Dummies book. And then as they started expanding out because IDG, I think, owned it at that point, as they started expanding out into doing more and more things, they just were hiring different authors and putting it under the same brand. Like Sex for Dummies is by Dr. Ruth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
So some of them are like, they go to the experts, but
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
I did not know that. Were they the kind of the programming manuals with the pencil sketches of animals on the cover?
Oh, the O'Reilly books.
The
O'Reilly
O'Reilly
manuals.
books. Were they the O'Reilly books of their day?
They were contemporary.
Oh, the Dummies books?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they totally were.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Unix for Dummies, or not Unix for Dummies, the Unix O'Reilly's book predates any of the Dummies books. But some of the other ones that, of course, they were coming out about this, like the explosion happened about the same time that happened too.
Oh, okay.
Because now we were talking about things like SQL or talking about
Right.
like Perl, and Python wasn't even a thing at that point, I don't think. Yeah. I can't, like, Python is such a recent innovation.
Yeah, well, I remember like asking someone if the O'Reilly Python book was worth picking up, and they're like, it's about the same size as the Python manual. So, no.
And it's all online. All right. Win32 Disk Imager. That seems like a good program. I accept your agreements. All right, and let's grab the disk imager, which is in the downloads. Is it still downloading? I think it might be. Nope, open folder. Control G. Oh, it's zipped, that's why. Okay, let's see about getting things ready for a connection to.
I really should look into seeing if anyone has figured out a practicable standard for miniatures on streamed tabletop.
Like how you would do it with a...
Like optimal painting for things that are going to go on stream. Because back when I was playing a lot, there was tabletop standard.
Right.
Which was, basically 3 colors, and when you have like your army together and like all of your spearmen are in a regiment standing shoulder to shoulder, they'll look good, right? And so tabletop standard was like, 3 colors, whatever. You paint the metal, you paint the flesh, you paint the cloth, kind of a uniform color, and then you can say you're done, right? I wonder if anyone has come up with something for streamed, what looks good on stream, because I imagine the camera doesn't see the way our eyes see.
That's right.
And really, it doesn't matter so much what the people who are playing the game see. It matters what the audience sees. Right?
Yeah, so is it better to do, concentrate on brighter or more visible contrasts?
Yeah, like how are camera detectors biased towards certain colors? Right? I imagine would be important. Because they must be, right?
Yeah.
Like they won't. I imagine the photo detector in a camera doesn't give a flat response across the spectrum, right? It's probably more sensitive to certain colors than others.
Yeah, and then of course reflections and stuff are going to be picked up in different way. Like we might look very nicely lit in the studio to our eyes, but the camera is like, I am freaking out because you are in the 80% and you're way too bright. And then we're like, oh, we'll have to take that down, or we'll have to pump that edge up, or something like that. Adjust the light to make that look different. Okay, I kind of see what you're saying.
So what do you think? I mean, obviously there's a lot more work to do, but here we're going. Oh, I can see where I've overlapped some things. That's poor form. I'll have to go back and go over that. Ugh. Oh, that looks terrible. Oh, God.
God, when you got it on the monitor in 1080p, right?
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, that's awful.
You're 6 inches away from it, and it's something you don't quite pick up on, and yet when you see it on the TV at a distance, it's like, oh, now I see the difference.
Either that or my glasses are filthy. Ugh. All right, then.
All right.
We're both making such headway.
Nah. Sorry. No. Nothing.
Sorry, the Roman camera had a lot of pores on it.
Whose? No.
It's not important. We weren't live with that camera, so don't worry about it.
Was it just like all of my blackheads? The interior.
It's your nose was very much a part of the visual spectrum.
That's really unfortunate. I'm sorry.
It was only me and Corey that got to see it, so
I'm sorry. I'll go exfoliate.
it's fine. I'm a professional. I'm used to seeing humans in all manner of.
Well, now we're gonna look at you.
Cam, I've seen myself nude. I mean, there's not much that scares me anymore.
That's why I always turn the lights off.
You also shower in the dark?
Yeah,
Yeah.
made that mistake once. Couldn't sleep for 3 weeks.
Good. There we go. I managed to avoid having hotspot shield installed on my Windows machine.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, it's like a goddamn minefield, isn't it? Whenever you try to boot into Windows and download something.
Yeah. Am I going to end up with a...
Why are you installing all of Norton? Mini Tool Partition Wizard has been installed.
Yeah, no. So I launched the program and got an error message.
Uh-huh.
Would you like to show everyone
Oh,
what the
yeah,
error message is?
absolutely I would. Give me a second.
Downloading Microsoft Edge.
Thanks.
That's not okay.
Thanks.
What is this weird tool you have?
It suggested, I don't know if it's the right tool. I literally consider every Windows installation disposable.
What are you trying to do?
Oh, just erase the A partition. But then also later I need to move an
An image onto the SD card?
I'm going to need to, according to this. Oh, come on.
Because there's a cute little SD tool that the Raspberry Pi guys recommend to set up your SD cards.
Yeah, they're cute. Where are we going here? Pi 4.
I mean, every time I've used it, it's never made an error when it said it launched.
It's true enough. No, the reason I need this is specifically to apparently move the ext4 partition to the end of the card and then resize the fat partition to use all the unallocated space.
Oh, okay.
Specifically, I guess that's where we're going to be putting the ROMs. Anyway, yeah, using this to put on my glasses. All right. How many gigabytes? Disk 3. Let's wipe the disk. No, we don't need to do that. Just delete all partitions. Delete all animes.
Delete all animes.
I'm glad we all got there. Yes.
I forget who we recently introduced to Anime Club.
Oh, you're right.
On
yeah.
Casey Green's Anime Club. But we were talking about it and somebody said, yeah, it's actually a deeply mean-spirited series. Right? Like
Yeah.
they're deeply mean-spirited.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but it comes from a place of legitimate hatred. Right? Like there's no lasting affection for this period of this person's life.
No.
They loathe everyone in this comic strip, and they're all real people.
It was uncomfortable reading that. I did that thing where you're like, I think I'm the one who's halfway normal. And I knew that wasn't true. I was like, which one am I out of all these guys? I have to be the one's halfway normal, right? Oh, I don't think I am. Oh no.
How do I make a dwarf look like he smells like beef jerky?
Smoke?
I can bring you
Liquid
some
smoke.
for yeah. I can bring you some for artistic reference if you
Ooh,
like.
We can make it actually smell like beef jerky, is what we're saying.
I mean, this is a Warhammer miniature. It will get there on its own eventually.
That's actually something we should maybe consider in the future for a Tinker Tailor project. Would be to
Jerkin meat.
no do Alton Brown's liquid smoke recipe.
Oh,
He makes his own,
really?
and apparently it's very good. I mean, he probably wouldn't make a TV show about it if it weren't, but or at least if he didn't think it was.
Did anyone else watch Alton Brown make grilled cheese that one time where he just like, takes some aged or old cheddar?
Yes, there's like a vat of cheese and all that tinfoil.
The one I saw was where he just took like, he heated up, he put 2 pans on the burners.
Yes.
He made his grilled cheese, put it in one pan, took the second pan and put it on top, and I was just like, I'm leaving. I've never been this mad in my life.
It has occurred to me many times to do that without even watching the show. I've been like, I should totally just put this other cast iron pan on top of... No, it's not clean enough.
Then I have to clean 2 pans,
Yeah.
Yeah. But you get,
1 sandwich,
yeah.
but a perfect sandwich, ostensibly.
Crushed all to hell, yeah.
I mean, I just have an old, waffle iron from like the 60s, where you can actually flip the waffle portion into the other side is just flat.
Oh,
And so
okay.
it turns it into a sandwich press. Or you could have like a half waffle, half pancake side if you... Maybe I should try that. That'd be very dumb. Okay, we've got that up there. We have... This needs to give things power.
Give energy. Take energy.
Big data energy. Okay. Actually, we might be able to make this work with just the maple connector, to be honest. But I think I got that plugged into the wrong port there. Oh, just gonna be really jamming a screwdriver in there. Ooh, okay. So this guy, I believe it is this one. Let's twist this around some more, like we did last summer when we started this. Yes.
As it was going off the edge.
Don't worry, it's connected by a SCSI 2 cable.
Oh, well, okay.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Those are load bearing.
They might be, actually.
I mean, I imagine it falls off the edge and the SCSI 2 cable like holds for an instant, and then you just see it pull half the motherboard out of the case.
And that's where the problem would be. Okay. That
Just neatly eviscerates it. Tidily eviscerate.
Beach, could you get me a USB mini?
One USB schmini coming up.
One USB mini and one USB schmicro. Thank you. Yeah. Believe it or not. There's still something that takes it. And it's not just PS3 controllers. It doesn't need to be very long either.
So USB A to USB mini B. 5 pin? Because I think that's what we've got.
And that's 5 pin.
Like that?
It only needs to carry power, so that should be fine.
Okay. They made mini B briefly in 4 pin and then also in 5 pin. That was a bad idea when they did that. Because the cable ends are slightly different. But not appreciably different unless you see them both side by side.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just need something to power this mini VGA to HDMI adapter.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yep. Okay. I don't think that needs any stuff. So let's just see if we can get this sucker to boot. Write was successful, apparently. That's great.
Are
That's
you
a good
saying boot?
Or
I
boot.
was saying boot.
One other thing, if I could ask you, could you
Yeah.
get me the remote control for the Toshiba TV? Boy, this episode of Tinker Tailor really got into a direction that's
Catch?
where I saw the show going.
Oh,
Yeah, tinkering around with something I have no idea what I'm doing.
Nice.
Great. It's great. Oh, wait, we still need to do one more connection.
yeah. Do I have to paint the USB minis? Womp womp.
Oh. So here's an example, actually, of why using USB as a tinkerer's method is a bad idea. This looks like a USB A to B cable. It's not, though. Apparently, there's something special about it. I'm not entirely certain why. I should have asked Ben, but I need to use this to connect to the kick harness.
That one specifically.
Yes, specifically this one.
Actually, well, Molly's in chat right now.
Yeah,
Maybe she could ask.
perhaps. If you're down for it. Don't want to make a real mistake. USB 3.0 mini. Oh yeah, that's right.
God, I love those. It's such a nod to the idea of, well, we can make the port kind of backwards compatible, so you can still use micro B if you need to, but also this weird dongle thing off to the side. So I like it because it's like you can still plug in USB 2.0 micro, but man, it's an ugly cable.
Input. HDMI 1. He wants to say. And he pulls out another USB mini cable. No, not mini. This is micro.
Molly wants to know what she did.
Oh, no, we were just going to. If you may, or if you could, please ask Ben why I need to use the USB cable that he brought for the Naomi, rather than any other USB cable.
It's a short brown.
Is it a JTAG cable? Says Sajuk S-Jet. That could be. This is a Blitzwolf. It's like a backwards Wolf Blitzer.
Ah,
Ah, okay. Thank you, Molly. And
Oh, I'm sorry.
but
It's not your
Yeah.
job.
no,
Don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry about it.
enjoy Ohio.
Hey, okay, this is the right USB, or the right port, which was the key. They say the light's the green's the greatest green in Cincinnati. Okay, please don't explode.
Did anyone ever decode the lyrics to the closing titles song of WKRP in Cincinnati?
There were lyrics?
Well, he was definitely saying something.
Oh yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Huh. Oh man, I watched a clip from Night Court the other day.
Was it any good?
It was the one where Brent Spiner shows up.
Really?
Yeah.
That one is good.
Okay. I'm always leery about how shows from the 90s have like aged, right? Because thinking back about it, like you're like, oh yeah, Cheers, that was a fun show.
Yeah.
And then you're like, how many kind of like weird, creepy jokes are they going to cram into this one?
Okay.
I mean, Night Court's bread and butter was half the episode was always about these really weird people that would show up in court. And it was like, how do you write an episode that's basically, it's like we don't have 22 minutes for an entire plot, but what we do have is about 16 minutes. So we'll pad it out with weird court cases and people saying weird things, and we can basically write like 3 and 4 minute crap shot bits to sprinkle out, right? That's kind of how that always felt. They were little short bits that were meant to kind of fill in the holes between what was actually going on. Brent Spiner's one was real weird because I did not remember him in that show at all. And then when I had it brought to my attention, I'm like, oh yeah, he's playing like the dude from the South.
Huh. Okay.
Who's with his wife. And it's this weird like hick bit. And they like have a can full of money, a coffee can full of money. And you have to watch the whole bit, but it was just like, this is real weird. I remember these characters. They came back multiple times. I never remembered that being Brent Spiner.
Somebody told me that apparently CBS signed a bunch of are making a bunch of new Star Trek shows.
A bunch?
Yeah.
Huh.
Or want to at least.
Okay.
Like they signed on Picard.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
For something.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, I mean, yeah, it's 20 years later, but how are they going to explain how Data looks like Noonien Singh now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Soong, Dr. Soong.
Dr. Soong, yeah.
Khan Noonien Singh. And then, what was Dr. Soong?
Dr. Noonien Soong.
Yeah.
No con.
Boy,
No
did
con.
that make me frustrated when I was following that for the first time, and I was like, why would you name them the same?
Yeah, wait,
practically?
Khan made Data?
Yeah.
Or a descendant thereof? How? All right.
I just think Data isn't there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Or it'll be like Starfleet Academy, and it will just be Picard will be checking in from the Enterprise every so often.
Yeah, exactly.
On full motion video in QuickTime 2.0.
Nah, it'll be lore.
Oh. They'll find a Brent Spiner lookalike to be lore or something.
All right. Hate to keep doing this to you, Beach, but could you grab the monitor we usually use?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, good. Now I found pinouts too, which will be very useful.
We've got a response from Dandy Geek
Ah.
that is kind of non-specific, just the Naomi USB port AFK, or as far as I know, doesn't actually meet the standard. So they just use the jacks.
Okay.
So it doesn't follow the USB standard, so you need a cable for that.
Good to know.
Useful.
And apparently the WKRP song was basically just scat. The producer, somebody who said that the producer wrote it because he got royalties every time it was played. So he's like,
Wow.
yeah, sure, I'll write a song.
That's great. Thank you, Beach.
You're welcome.
All right. Oh, no.
Oh, well?
Oh, no. No, 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 no. Though I did just figure out the other day why uwu is what it is.
That's cool.
Do you just mean that you went and you found the etymology of the meme?
I finally saw a picture of a person literally making the ooh,
Yeah.
and W with
Yeah.
their mouth. Like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
You're all sick. This is a wholesome meme, you people. Input. Welcome back to Tinker Tailor Solar Fry.
Where we're baffled by memes and
It's a bunch of olds being baffled by memes.
We're baffled by memes and doing it on streams.
Waluigi. Waluigi.
Oh, Ian,
Yes.
you'll be pleased to hear that Soyana has gotten a resurgence of sorts.
I'm glad to hear. Yes, I am pleased to hear that.
Yeah, I figured you would be.
What can you explain why?
There's a. This is very tenuous. There is a new meme out called Akane-chan. Sorry, there's a new meme out called Akane-chan will listen to anything you say, and it's this great little song. I was listening to it last night in bed, and Heather was like, "How long is that video?" And I'm like, "There's like 30 seconds left." It's a Vocaloid thing, and there's this. It's a bunch of girls being Vocaloids and Voicealoids, and then one of them, Akane-chan, she has a Kansai accent, which I don't know if that makes a difference for a Voicealoid, but she does, and she goes Seiyana to something, then she goes Soyana to something, Wakaru, and then she says something else as well, and it's just her kind of nodding her head to the stupid things her friends are saying. And this is a new meme.
Hooray!
It's a good song, but it's weird. It's a new thing, and I was like, oh, Soyana, I know that. That's not... Yeah, it's like Dayone.
Yeah.
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 Sorry, Cam.
For those wondering, Soyana was a karaoke staple of Bijan Mind back in the day.
I actually managed to get a copy of the single on CD. CD single, those little 4-centimeter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I got one of those suckers from, I had to order it from Hawaii. It was like $3. It was awesome. I don't think she had a clue as to why I wanted it. She actually sent me other things, too. She's like, oh, here, I'm sending you this. I'll send you some more things.
Just had a pathetically happy seller.
Yeah. That happened, too, when I ordered a game for the Wii. The dude was like, you're just getting 2 games. I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, cool. And then he sent me like 5 because he just had some he couldn't get rid of.
Huh. I feel like I should be listening to the Minecraft soundtrack while doing this.
I didn't realize it had a soundtrack.
It does. It's really well suited to hours of diligent, careful work.
Is it like just very careful piano and stuff?
Yeah. It's very quiet. It's very calm. Like there's no action music in it at all. It's just
Does it
pleasant.
feels like SimCity music, kind of?
A little bit, only it's all solo piano,
Oh, neat.
right? Because it's you working.
Yeah.
I used to listen to it late at night when I was doing schoolwork. And then when my honors thesis started getting due, I started listening to the soundtrack from Gravity.
That's less good.
Help me get things done, though.
Yeah, that'll get you some intense focus.
There's a track I really like on. I have a Yoko Kanno Koei music collection. That's just tracks she's written for different Koei war simulator games, like Nobunaga's Ambition and Romance of the Three Kingdoms and Uncharted Waters. She wrote music for most of those.
Okay.
And there's this great piano and cello track that I've never played this game, but when I listen to the music, it is just totally like, I have played this game before, and this is the music you listen to on the overworld, and you leave it on for 4 hours while you're doing something else because it's just so good.
Ha.
Like it's thinking music, right?
Right.
It's very pleasant. I wish I had like an endless track of it. I mean, I could probably get it, right? Somebody would have ripped it from from a ROM or something.
That does seem, yeah. You can probably find it on YouTube. Probably in an endless loop.
Lo-fi VG jams to trance out to. I wrote a university essay once listening to the Crusader No Remorse install screen music.
Whoa.
Wow.
Based on the Ultima 8 engine.
I listened
Was
to...
No Remorse the second one?
It was the first one. No
Right.
Regret was the second one.
Right.
Did you play that?
A little bit. I had a friend who really liked them. You were the bad guy in that one, weren't you?
You were a bad guy who had decided that he had enough of being a bad guy and was going to be a renegade and be a good guy.
Right, okay.
And overthrow the giant mining corporation on Mars or whatever. But you were a bad guy originally, and that meant nobody trusted you. And you could blow up scientists and stuff.
All right.
That may look better.
It is so satisfying when you drop a reference like that, and there are people who are like, "Oh yeah!"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh my god, I thought I was the only one." All right, good.
I mean, I still go back and listen to the MechWarrior 2 soundtrack sometimes, which the Clans had a rad soundtrack. It was very like lots of timpani
Okay.
and horns, because the Clans were like these martial people, right, who viewed kind of war as like with this pseudo-religious fervor.
Okay.
So a lot of like battle hymns. And it was very like very war positive music, I guess.
Oh wait, that's power supply 1.
How you doing, Ian?
I'm figuring out wiring, it looks like. Making sure we're getting all the, everything's getting the power it needs. I'm unsure if I've connected this properly. Which is always a good thing to say, right?
One way to find out.
Yeah, well...
Does it start smelling like a George Foreman grill when you plug it in?
It has not as of yet, so that's always a good thing.
All right, speaking of grilled cheese.
Yeah, I don't...
What do you guys think? Better? That hat, Beach.
Yeah, I like it. It's very Austrian.
Yeah, I feel you need a what is it? A havhan
I
and
don't know what that is.
and a pint of kolsch. A havhan is, I think that's how it's pronounced, but it's half a rooster, I guess is the literal translation. But it's basically like a wad of Gouda cheese on half of a roll of like a rye bun,
Yes, please.
and then just it's like the German equivalent of a Plowman's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's what
cool.
you just like bread, cheese, red onion, mustard.
Damn.
Have hand will travel. All right. We've got a bunch of extension cables, it looks like, so that sure is something.
The clothes make the man.
And that's... I don't think these help us at all. So we know that it works because we've had it on once before, right? Right. We've actually seen it working. Right. So what have I done, my Swedish friend?
Get right to the back. That's where the memories are.
Yeah.
Wait a second. that actually send any power? Standard I/O connected to I/O board via USB cable. Okay. Optical fire. Optical fire. No, optical fiber. You don't want an optical fire.
Well, now I do.
Visible fire.
I'm so
I
jealous.
mean, like, given the option, I guess.
I'm so jealous of cephalopods.
Yeah.
Explain yourself.
Well,
No.
wouldn't you be?
Yeah.
I
Them and their weird toroidal brains.
And the fact that they have their optic nerve is behind their retina.
Oh, yeah, so they don't have fucked up a hole in their vision like we do.
Yeah.
Where your brain is just like being, like, we each have this little, like, spot in the middle of our vision.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Where-
that bit.
It's
Things
like right
disappear,
here,
yeah.
right? And your brain is being like, I don't know, I guess this is what's here,
Yeah.
right?
I'll fill that in because I'm pretty sure I have information for that.
Yeah.
The when I was reading about the saccades that our eyes do,
That's the word.
and I was like, what? And it's like, yeah, your eyes just kind of always slightly dart back and forth to help fill in a lot of that vision. I'm like, and then it lies to your brain. Your brain lies to itself about what it saw. It goes back in time and says, you saw that. And I'm like, I saw that. No, I didn't.
Yeah, so we're always getting our vision a bit delayed.
Yeah.
It's kind of like our decision making, where our brain actually makes a decision milliseconds in advance of us actually knowing we've made a decision.
Yeah.
Neat. The one I'd always heard is that and are actually distinct things. You would think they'd be kind of interchangeable, but somebody did a study where they found that usually precedes a pause of like greater than 3 seconds, and is less than 3 seconds,
No.
which means that our brain knows how long of a pause we need.
Conversely,
Right?
though, that also means
I don't know if that study like held up or anything, but I remember reading that and being like, oh, cool. No, I'm not reading any more about this. No.
I would love to see how that fits with regards to English as a second language
Ooh.
and learning how to, like, what are the ums and ahs of other languages and cultures.
Like Japanese, the whole eto, the holding air that they do, right?
Right.
That's very
Eto,
like they will hold a sentence
yeah.
for as long as they need to finish whatever it is that they're saying. There's no kind of and kind of a like where you can interrupt somebody at that point. If somebody does that, you're supposed to wait because they're busy formulating that sentence.
Right. They're thinking about it.
They're thinking about it and they're doing like pilots do, like they're holding air.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's real weird because we don't have that same thing. If somebody goes while you're talking to them from our perspective, it's like that's the point now I can jump into the conversation.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
or-
cultural, but
or where you're kind of like, I'll save you.
yeah.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. The verbal spooling noise. Maybe it's a stand-in for different kinds of like trouble that your brain is in.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we got boot.
Have you made post?
Error 25, though, cannot access GD-ROM drive.
I mean,
That's correct, right?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Good.
within expectations.
Loading test mode now.
Correct errors have been displayed.
Okay.
Ooh, get that cat test.
One dandy geek in the chat says you have to power the drive.
Ah, okay. I've been looking at some notifications and it says nothing about powering the drive,
It's
but
hand cranked.
that's good.
You got to just get the crank out and turn over the drive a couple of times to get it to bite.
Yeah, but once you get the flywheel spinning, you can step away from it.
Okay, yeah. You need to step away from it or it'll take your arm right off.
Yep. 400 kilogram flywheel. That's why those arcade cabinets are so heavy. For the Japan version of the system menu, there sure is a lot of English.
Okay.
Oh, he's telling you the cable you should have.
Oh, good.
It's down here at the bottom.
Cable you should have has a tiny power lead that breaks out from the core power cable and runs to the GD-ROM. Great. That tells me which cable I need out of these. So I believe it's this one. Perfect. So this will go to that. Okay, let's give this a try then. After we power her down. Okay, so let's try this again with. Let's try it again with this. Other power.
And is that okay?
I like it.
I'm seeing a couple of places where I just need to like fill things in, but I think I can work with that.
It has a good look.
Hmm.
He looks muddy, like, and not like in like he looks like you haven't done a sharp job. It looks like parts of his skin are covered in filth that have rubbed off on the rest of his, like on his like loincloth and stuff. It's like, this is a filthy dwarf.
All dwarves are filthy.
Yeah.
I was a high elf player and then a dark elf player. Dwarves and their, what was it, their god of the forge, grungy? Grungy, is that it? Is that how you pronounce that? And they'd be like, it's pronounced groony.
Groony?
Groony.
Like a Groot?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, grungy, that's what I said.
Okay. Interesting then.
Tips on painting tattoos. I've never done it before, but I remember reading people talking about it and how tattoos should not be, the color intensity should on them, or the saturation, the color saturation on them should not be that high. Because if you look at tattoos from a distance, they're, like the blacks are never black, right? The green is never green. It's like a mixture of that tone and the person's skin tone. And so if you paint like tattoos as the color that the ink went into the skin on, it'll look wrong. I guess blend in some of the skin tone with the color of the tattoo. Weird. Okay, well.
Ben has to say, yeah, unfortunately those cables don't have much slack in them yet.
Yeah, that's the. I think we can deal with that. I'm just trying now to figure out the power situation for the specifically for the Capcom I/O board.
Oh, apparently Bushido Miniatures has a good tutorial on painting tattoos. So yeah, like I say, I've never done it before, but that's how I would start out. But if there are better, more practiced tutorials that people are familiar with, please consult those. Any advice for painting minis with a nosy animal in the house? I go to a friend's house.
Yeah.
Like you can do the kind of pack animals. I always found that I worked better in groups on similar tasks. This was true for me when I was studying. I always found I studied better in a group of friends. And I attributed that to kind of like a social bonus to work. I don't know how to describe it really, but I found that helpful.
Great. Work without the Capcom harness for now, which is good. Good.
Now it's known as the Capcom harness because it's something they created, right?
That's right. They created it for I believe it was extra buttons.
So they could do Street Fighter 2.
Yes.
Oh, so it's the kick button harness.
That's what the kick portion is.
I see.
Okay. The thing is here, I want to make sure I've got this connected right because I don't want to. There we go. All right, that should do it. Let's see if this spools up. It's making a lot of noise. That's good.
Well,
That just adds a lot more button options, and as well gives you some I/O. Oh, there we go. 640 by 480 at 60 hertz. Okay,
nice.
good. So that works. GD-ROM. Okay, the GD-ROM is not found. That might just be because I don't have a GD-ROM in there.
Okay.
So I think that's good. But now I want to try the other thing with the converter.
Well, that's no excuse.
I brought in. Let's put this down here. And then we're going to grab this, connect it to that. Bring the laptop back up here for power purposes. And then change this input to HDMI 1. Interesting. Aha, there we go. So now we have an Right, it's the PS2 side on that, isn't it? Or the I might have to resolder some connections in this little guy. Anyway, you're working now. That's the important thing. Okay, let's go back to the small monitor. Because we might need that. But at least we're booted. That makes me a happy camper. Perfect. All right, let's put this back up here. And then I guess we'll shut it down, put a disk in, and see if that comes up. Then I think what we'll do is see about getting see if we can get a controller hooked up to the Maple connectors, because those will allow us to actually connect a Dreamcast keyboard and or controller to it. Yeah, last time we had Guilty Gear XX, so let's give it a try. Because we know that is working good. All right, booting. The boot process is not insignificant. Hosk, the posts are successful, yes. Ooh.
A successful quest to Maic Poast. I don't know where I first saw that. It was definitely on a forum. Somebody would, in all caps, MAEKPOAST.
Mm-hmm. As their only contribution to the
Yeah,
talk,
basically.
equals 5642.0. I forgot a for too. There we go. Hey, a pinout. Useful. Very useful. Okay. The question is, how do I want to go about connecting that? Do we have anything in here we can borrow? We do. These are... Oh, this didn't post up, did it? Is everything connected nicely? Everything is connected nicely, okay. Is our input correct?
Oh, Mr. Fix-It, I'm just
No.
having the, oh, actually, Ian, what's in the tap right now in the kegerator?
That is the Tilty Brow Wicked Summer Wheat.
It's nice.
You may find that we are out of it.
Oh no!
Oh, really?
We might be.
Did I get the last pint?
I'm not sure. Corey has some here too.
Okay, so we might have...
I know we're definitely out of sparkly water. Ian.
Well, that's... I guess we need a...
Tutorial on how to make our own.
Yeah,
Sure.
actually, yeah, I would totally accept that.
That I can do without too much effort.
After seeing the containment breach that happened, I'm very wary of just giving that one a whirl.
That one is not for you.
It's kind of not the thing that we need to be kind of fiddling around with on our own. I'd rather have clear and explicit instructions on how to refill that keg ourselves.
Yeah, normally I'm fairly comfortable just like sitting down with something and being like, I guess I'll fiddle around with this until I figure out how it works.
You mean sort of like this?
Yeah.
A lot of water was lost that day.
I mean, we know where it went.
Will this work? This might be exactly what we need. 5 connect. Boo!
I mean, it didn't breach on camera, but it very nearly broached on stream.
Broached. Okay.
For chat members asking, Cameron has been drinking today, mostly Moonbrow.
Moonenbrow.
Wait, mostly?
Did you have anything else to drink today?
I hope not.
He has not been drinking his paint water.
If that's what your question is.
Yeah. So that sounds like a great name for your a brand of bourbon, Old Paint Water.
Oh, yeah.
Olden paint times.
I really enjoyed in Akewood that the name Akewood comes from an apocryphal southern isotope of absinthe.
Yeah.
Really?
And Akewood is the local version of wormwood.
That makes sense. Right. So I've got...
God, I missed that comic.
Yeah. I understand it brought Chris Onstad some pain,
Yes.
so I
Yeah.
understand him not doing it, but we can still miss things that were...
Yeah, that We can miss things that we know why they don't exist anymore.
All right. I don't have everything I need in hand right now to make this connect. Oh no, I can hack it. I can hack it.
That's the spirit.
Can I hack it?
Hack. I can hack. I'm in.
And then we can do it up proper another time, but at least we can hack this together and get it working. That said, who feels like they could use a break right about now?
I probably could.
I think I could. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry after this. Don't go away. We'll get this doing something. The French champagne is back.
From that proud Orson cut.
There is a channel called Loading Ready Run. Has the most amazing content. Here you will find many great programs, both pre-recorded and improvised.
How did they get that ad out of him finally? Because it definitely wasn't getting any better that day. Did they just send him home to sober up?
Like,
And
I don't think that they could edit together single words like a
Yeah.
Laurence Olivier thing after his death.
Wow!
Well, I mean Laurence Olivier for Diet Coke. The
The Radio Free Vestibule skit.
yes,
Oh my god!
like you could get away with that today. Make Max Headroom him. The French champagne by Paul Son
do you believe?
in Life After Orson Welles.
I guess not.
All right, let's cut some stuff and solder some stuff, guys, because that's going to be fun. All I could find in terms of what I could connect with is this. It's a 4-pin connector. Dreamcast requires 5 pins. So what we're going to do is we are going to take this cable
Why?
and cut it in half. And with this, we'll be able to make something that we can stick into the Dreamcast's Maple connector, putting this to this, this is a Dreamcast extender cable. It will allow us to plug in Dreamcast controllers and keyboards directly into the interface without having to do this pin shenaniganery. And there's plenty of extra cable on there, which means we can do it again in the future properly with the right kind of connector. But for tonight, at least, we can get something happening. So, without further ado, let's cut some cables, which is what we like doing. We like making progress towards an end goal.
Cut the cable.
And making it, and making it one-way progress, ever forward, as we say.
I wish they would have settled on whether these runes are serifed or not.
I'm sorry.
Are these sans serif runes? Is Kazalid?
I wonder if I can crack this open without having to...
You see what I'm saying here, right? It's inconsistent.
Oh god, yeah, on the side of the X things, and
Yeah.
on one side, the bottom of the triple M.
Yeah.
Oh good, we do have a Dreamcast controller.
I'm glad Graham isn't here to see this. He would just be...
He'd nope right out. That man takes his typefaces seriously.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. It's part of the reason we worked here for so long. Not many companies I've worked for have that kind of dedication to typeface.
Yeah, I remember working at a place that was like, I was doing QA for a place and wanted to find out what blue is the logo.
Yeah.
Because there should be
Be a consistent one. And they're like, it's Dodger blue. And I'm like, okay. I look up Dodger blue. And there's like a couple of different interpretations. And I'm like, which one is it? And he's like, I don't know, pick one. Like, I'm not your branding team, dude.
So Sugarshot in the chat has pointed out that it is not an X thingy. It is Geofu.
Oh. Well, there we go then.
Good to know.
Is it actual, like, are they, what are the runes then?
Ooh, that's fun. Ooh, yeah, lots of stuff came out of that. Probably should have done that on camera.
Sounds
I
like
mean, we had no way to
Thanksgiving.
know.
Let's just keep nipping.
All right, I'm get down there then.
Rawr. It's not going to crack open nice and easy.
See the hammer?
Yes.
Just give her a tap.
Yeah, good solid calibrated tap on the ground. Should do it.
Goodbye.
Wow, that worked really well.
The guy.
It just snapped right open. Okay. Oh, perfect. This is what I wanted to see.
Just a mess.
Yeah, just a mess of stuff that I just completely effled. There we go. You were once a proud connector.
You certainly did a proprietary job.
Not invented here. Therefore, we get rid of it. Alrighty. Looks like... Oh, good. They did the thing where they just let the ground just be there. Okay. How's our best way to splice and connect these? Probably soldering, let's be honest. Right. Snippy snippy and strippy strippy.
You got to work on your pickup lines, dude.
Do you like...
It only has to work once, Beej.
Also, I can't use that. It's just not accurate. Hey, Cam.
Save you from the hell that is other people.
How's it feel to learn things about your friends?
Dead.
That's one. This is going to be two. This is going to be two. There we go. Three.
Weird, a notification in Slack.
Oh, I see we've been canceled. No, that was email. If you're going to cancel someone, you do it via email. Okay, and then... that feeling when your wire strippers are too big for the wire you're working on.
Do you want to borrow?
No, I appreciate that. But,
Okay.
it's really just a case of I need to get new strippers and learn to be gentle with these ones. Because I think the X-Acto might just be a bit too aggressive.
Didn't NASA have really exacting splicing standards?
Yes, they do.
I remember, I think it was InfoSec Taylor Swift, I guess, at Swift on Security now, but she was talking about like just looking at intensely pleasing pictures of NASA wiring.
Oh yeah, they have their guides online too, and they're
really?
absolutely beautiful. Yeah, there's the NASA wire splice. It's nuts.
Huh.
But then again, like if if you're building something that needs to work because there is no way that you can come and repair it.
Yeah, well, I guess it's like the what was the NASA credo or ethos, like the 10 or so points that was like, if I don't do my job, people die, and nobody else can do my job for me. Nobody else can check my work. Oof. Right.
That's that's a pretty strong statement to live with. Okay. So CN7 and
Like, I have to be the best in the world at what I do because space is not kind to people who are not the best.
I'd like to look those up then. I'm sure those at least
I
are
have them in my
Wikipedia.
phone. Actually.
Just for handy.
Well, I mean, it's in here somewhere. Now I want to look at it again.
No, I think that would be something that we definitely fit the aesthetic of this show.
I should probably get a, like, if I can find it, I should have it done up in like a cross stitch.
There we go.
Yeah, perfect.
Thankfully, they're color coded, which means I can wire them up properly. Right, so it goes red, white. Wait, player 1 is blue. Where is my thing here? Okay. Black, green, blue, white, red. So black and green we can at least keep consistent between the colors. Black will connect with black. All right, let's adjust this. Third.
Riveting content over here. Sorry, everyone.
It's okay. It's that, or it's watching me adjust my third hand to make wires touch.
And this is different from the one that they had to write on their boards after Challenger, which was
Don't fuck up.
was tough and competent. They made everyone go and write the words tough and competent on their blackboards, never to be erased.
Huh. That seems pithy and much less elegant.
But one that you can't help but look at all the time.
It's true.
Especially knowing why it's there.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Come on, brain.
Right, I didn't buy all the new solder because it was expensive to buy a full pound. But then I went online and it was much less costly.
Also, I'm not concerned if we can't see these joints.
No, that's okay.
Yeah,
You're going to be able to see them.
it's good.
It's right there. I hope that's visible for you. All right. It's not very pretty, but it does the job. Okay, so black is black, green is green. Okay, adjust that, bring them into position. I'm uncertain what for, but I think it's finger licking.
Ah, alignment splice.
This? Oh, the what? Yes.
Yeah, those are pretty.
Good splice. Good splice. Good splice. That's hot shit right there. You can tell because it's making the sponge go hiss.
Is it damp enough?
Oh yeah.
Good.
No. Turn you down a bit. Looks good. Yes. These are, I believe, what's referred to as the hacks splice. Usually named not so because they are for a hack job, but because they are done by a hack.
I had it somewhere, and it's really infuriating now because I want to see it again. Because they were just very concise in that, like, no nonsense NASA language, right? Where words were chosen to have a single meaning.
No ambiguity.
Yeah, and unambiguous. At least that's how I remember it.
Blue is red. Blue is red and red is blue.
Do you see the recent thing that apparently, if you game publishers have, or well, I don't know who to actually put this at the feet of,
Who to blame?
but if you have color blindness and you're playing a game that wants you to follow red, except that
Right.
you can't see red, all you're seeing is just shades of green. Like, and I think it's Deuteronomy. I can't do it pronounce the proper thing, but anyway.
This is by the way, I gotta say, this is a beautiful shot of you right now. Just
Oh,
keep
thank you.
talking at me. This is
Yeah.
like, if I were to make a documentary about you,
This is how
this is one of the shots I'd be
you
using.
want to use for this. But the programmers thought they were making a mode that would help people that have that specific type of color blindness. What they made was that color blindness simulator. They basically put a filter over the screen that eliminated all traces of red and didn't do anything to actually make red show up in a way that was visible to people who can't see it.
Great.
So it's like you didn't make a corrective filter, you made a simulator for people who aren't
Right.
colorblind. So thanks for that mode, I guess.
Someone wants to direct this possible quote to Cam. Spaceflight will never tolerate carelessness, incapacity, and neglect. Somewhere, somehow, we screwed up. It could have been in design, build, or test. Whatever it was, we should have caught it.
Yeah, I'm actually just found that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's from Eugene Krantz.
This goes to white for some.
Who dat?
Eugene Krantz. If you've ever seen Apollo 13, he was the character played by
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris.
Yeah.
He was the
Mission Control.
Vest-
mission
Man?
control director.
Non-Argyle McVestington. Ah!
The
The solder fell out. Probably more emergency than was
You yelled
required.
that like you sit like it was the engine fell out.
you sounded like you thought that might be the last noise you ever make.
Oh no, I'll be much more panicked when I know I'm about to die.
I
Go ahead.
I realized I got into one of those situations, I think, last week. I forget what the exact circumstance was because my brain was like, oh, you don't need to remember this. But I do remember thinking that I should be making some kind of sound right now.
Oh.
And instead, I was just watching the thing happen.
Okay.
Part of my brain was like, should we be doing something? And another part of my brain was like,
Nah.
eh.
Seems like a lot of work.
No, I've done that and I've made the noise, and the noise was like moose.
yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, as Canadians, there is a percentage chance that our final noise will be moose. Thank you, Corey.
I love the episode of one of the more recent episodes of Friday Nights where you and Kathleen are discovering that you're like, oh geez, I just want to play this other the more recent one where you both end up laying on the floor and dust and
yeah.
water. But I didn't realize the one scene where the two of you are talking to each other in production 1, where you're looking at the whiteboard and looking at like Palaka Worm and Rouge's
Yeah.
whatever's.
Rouge's gloves.
Yeah, it's so good. I didn't realize that the point where you slow down in talking and then you just hold for a good pregnant pause and you go, buh. I didn't think that was part of the scene. So when that got worked into the scene, I was like, that's a really long hold for that resolution.
We kept that?
Yeah, we did. And it's,
Awesome.
It's just so good because it's like we're holding on camera a little too long. Buh. Oh, that's why.
So glad you got that in there.
If you've never seen Alien 3,
I have not.
there's a scene where they're trying to lay a trap for the alien. What they're doing is not important. The point is, there's a slow-mo shot of this guy like mopping, and another guy is killed and drops a flare, and the stuff the guy is mopping is flammable. And there's just like this shot of the flare falling, and the guy looks up at it and just says, he's not talking to anyone else, he's just kind of like working in super slow-mo, and he looks up and just sees it and says, "Buh." And his mouth closes. Like that was the entire thought. He got it out. It was not cut off. It was not a sentence that was cut off. It was not
He wasn't
anything
struggling to say something.
Yeah, he wasn't struggling to say anything.
This
That
is
was
what
what
he
he wanted to say. Was
Buh.
"Buh."
Oh my god.
It's perfect.
Like,
It's utterly perfect. It might be one of my favorite moments in cinema because it's just very human.
but no, just buh. All right, let's tape these guys up so there's less chance of a short circuit. A circuitous short. How are we doing time-wise? Perfect. I can shut that off now. Yeah, I'm finally at the point in my life where I'm really excited for a hardware release that's about to come out, but I don't know when it's going to happen. And it's been a long time since I've been in that sort of situation.
What are you looking forward to?
There's a soldering iron out there that I want.
No,
Or
God.
rather, that's currently in the pre-phase. It's like being sent around to certain YouTubers to show off and whatnot.
Are we the kind of nerd who just really looks forward to that mass drop email every morning?
Banggood and yes.
Okay. Like, oh, I wonder what kind of crap I'll convince myself I'll use someday is on sale today.
Too real.
Yeah. No, I just need I really need an open source soldering iron apparently. Or this is what I've convinced myself.
What flavor of BSD does this run?
I don't know, but you can install Tetris on it.
I thought we were supposed to install Doom on everything.
Is it a combo like soldering iron multimeter?
No, it's just a soldering iron with a it's the mini TS80. We're looking at the 100 and it seems pretty cool.
The
But
trash 80. Okay, gotcha.
yeah, the TS80 is the one I'm looking at. It has a higher boot up time, but it does have only a USB-C connector in the back as its power in.
Soldering iron get hot.
Yeah,
What this do?
get hot, fast.
But like also the iron uses an audio port to
Yeah, it
jack
uses
in,
mini
and
jacks.
you can add on carbon fiber sleeves and stuff like that. And it's a metal soldering iron.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they're
Is this like how microwaves have chaos mode now for defrost? Turns out if you use a randomly or a chaotically fluctuating waveform
Right.
on a microwave, it makes water defrost really quickly.
No shit. Yeah. Wow.
So that's why I think is it Panasonic microwaves?
Yeah.
Have chaos mode.
Chows mode.
So they have a literal button that says that. Oh my god. Chaos defrost.
Betty
Or
Crocker.
just chaos.
Yeah.
Betty Crocker leans over and whispers, "I think you mean the chaos defrost."
The Forces
Obama smirks and presses the chaos defrost.
You mean the Chaos Emeralds? Obama chuckled.
I want that man is retired now, and I want someone to walk up to him and say, "I will give you $50 if you read this into my smartphone. Please make this my ringtone."
No,
You have to chuckle.
from what I can see about Obama, he would probably chuckle, look at your cell phone, and just before you got a chance to record it and get the line out.
Oh yeah, and then walk away.
He's probably aware of the meme, which means that he's probably now aware of Sonic fiction, which means that he, at some point in his presidency, he walked out of the Oval Office into the residence and said to Michelle, "Michelle, you know anything about Sonic fandom? I have way too much in my head right now."
Like,
And if you tell me that Amy Rose is in any way better than our good friend and leader of the rebellion, Sally, then I'm afraid you're not welcome here. You'll have to get into the sea.
Oh my God,
Ian,
that
your
chaos.
microphone is escaping down your shirt.
Oh no. Oh no, my Obama impression.
Yeah, it was fun. It was very passable. People liked it. Oh, I don't want to buy a new microwave, but
Oh, I really do.
yeah.
Living in a place that has a built-in, or rather renting a place that has a built-in microwave, I really want a good microwave again.
now all I want to do is take out the circuitry that powers the chaos mode and use it to fluctuate phaser frequencies across the upper EM band so you can defeat the Borg.
Right.
But then the Borg will then, after a few shots, be impervious to phaser frequencies and also being defrosted.
random.
But the deflector dish.
They'll figure out
Yeah,
the
but they were
algorithm.
just dumping all the power through the deflector dish.
Keep them guessing. Don't let them have time to adapt. I love that the story behind Jellicoe was that we don't know if we're going to be able to afford Patrick Stewart next season, so let's bring this asshole in.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the idea.
Wow. He was really terrible.
No, people did not like him. And I think the idea was like, I don't know if he would have replaced him or if that would have been like a brief aside that that would have been a thing. Oh, wait, no, hang on. It wasn't Jellicoe because that was Chain of
Yeah,
Command.
it's the lady.
Yeah, sorry. It was during A Best of Both Worlds, I think.
Oh, it was Commander Shelby.
It was Shelby. I'm pretty sure that's why. No, damn it. It might have been Jellicoe. It might have been during Chain of Command where they took him hostage and they're like, we don't know if we're going to get Picard back after this. We don't know if Patrick Stewart wants to return. So we're bringing in Jellicoe to see how this plays out. But I don't know if they would have kept him long term or they would have just turned to Riker and said, it's your ship now.
Right.
Which I feel the show would have, even in like at that point of the series, still would have lost something by losing Patrick
But
Stewart.
that would have been a much more interesting thing because then they could have explored Riker's need to live up to Picard's
Yeah,
legacy.
well, I mean, like, they wouldn't just give Enterprise to the first officer,
No.
right? Like, Enterprise is a huge command,
It is.
Yeah.
right? A very
flagship.
prestigious one.
Yeah,
Right.
there'd be all sorts of stuff you'd have to go through.
Option board malfunctioning.
Is that because of the plug?
Like,
Oh,
in
I think
canon,
so,
after
yeah.
Riker made command, he got posted to a lunar class cruiser. Which,
Sucks.
well, from what I understand, the lunar class were the ones that replaced the Mirandas.
As science vessels,
Or
essentially?
just like the light cruiser,
Oh, okay.
the ones that were like, we can't make, like, I think the Miranda was like, these constitutions are real expensive. And we need to make like 400 ships this year. We need something way cheaper, and it's okay if it's not very good.
Yeah. It's fun. I mean, it's a post-scarcity society, but at the same time, it's not post-scarcity because you still need to...
Yeah, like there's some things like
need to be
human
able to-
expertise is not cheap.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know there's a thing where it's like, well, people weren't living on money and stuff. I'm like, okay, let's assume that Latinum notwithstanding, that and everyone just kind of has what they want, and it's just a big socialist clusterfuck, and that's great. But there's still like, we have to produce so many of these things, and we can't just... It doesn't make sense to make so many shipyards that we can just churn out 1,000 of these a year. So we need to get resources from somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like at some point we also need crews for them,
Yeah.
right?
And we're churning out people out of Starfleet Academy all the time, and yet they still have to be really good at what they do. again, it's back to this NASA thing, right? It's like you have to be the best in order to do this kind of thing because it's very unforgiving out here.
I would love to have a science fiction setting where part of the selection process, like I think I had this idea in Mass Effect, where it's like, yeah, we tried having a navy of the best people, and as it turns out, roughly 75% of humans are made cripplingly nauseated by traveling through a mass relay.
Yeah.
So we had to just take whoever could stand up, and that's why the entire Earth Force or whatever, which is made of complete numpties in that show.
Those who could manage. There's some really smart people and there's some really not smart people.
Yeah, but you know what? They'll all be conscious on the other side of a jump. That's our selective pressure.
Apparently, error 26 is means that the chip doesn't match the game, which could be fine because we have we've got in there what's it called? A chip for NetBIOS. So that could be why. Let's just see if it recognizes the controller as a thing. All right, RAM test, JVS test, sound test, CRT test, system assignments. What's in system assignments? Cabinet 2 players, advertised sound, yes, monitor horizontal, service type common, exit. Coin assignments, bookkeeping, backup, clock settings, dim board test. Is it here? No JAMA board. Okay. All right, well, let's try. Yeah, we do have the netboot ROM in, so we're going to need to learn how to netboot. And we need to hope that it's got the right stuff hooked up. Where did that go? There it is. Okay. Beach, could you procure for me a Cat5 cable?
Sure.
Thank ye kindly.
Did I bank shot half of chat into memory alpha?
Seems so, yeah. Good job.
All right. Quick, before they get back.
All right. So we also need to adjust that. Finish adjusting the thing with the partition manager.
Oh.
Partition wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. Sure, that works. It doesn't need to be connected to the network.
Oh, I'm good.
Sorry about that. I should have.
No, it's fine. I didn't know how long a cord you needed. Do you want a shorter cord?
Yeah, shorter cord is much.
Great.
This is fine. Okay, come on, partition manager. And we need to move. What do we want to do here? We want to use partition manager to move the ext4 partition to the end of the card and resize the fat partition to use all the allocated space. Okay, so we'll move you.
Gold paint
Thank
is
you.
such garbage. Yo, does anyone know if they've actually made gold paint that's worth a damn in the last 10 years? Because it's always had this problem where it's just like, yep, it's gold, it's paint, it's liquid. It doesn't cover a single thing.
Like it won't adhere, or?
Oh no, it's completely translucent. Like, this is Citadel burnished gold. And you'll notice
Oh, wow.
It's like a witty metaphor for paint.
Wow. That's like what they used to call flesh.
They're
Does it
really-
dry gold at least?
Yeah.
But you got to put on great globs of it.
Okay.
Yeah, or, see, I've dropped a little bit of flesh wash into it, but the color is so fragile. I remember undercoating things with yellow or like flesh tone so that it would have some depth to it. I fucked it up. How do I even begin to do? Yeah, that's terrible. Okay.
Sorry.
Put an agitator in the pot. Actually, Ian, do you have a ball bearing or anything like that? Maybe a small metal weight?
What can I get you that will work like that? Does it have
Needs
to be
to be-
round?
No, but it needs to be very heavy for its size.
Yeah, that's the closest thing I could
Like
find.
a bit
That's
of.
not
Do
gonna
you
do it.
use lead solder?
Yes, I do. That will work. Do you want me to just make you a big old ball?
That would be wonderful,
Great.
actually.
Or I'll attempt to. Just let that heat up here.
How big? Pea? Smaller?
Half a pea?
Gotcha.
So like sunflower seed. Half a sunflower seed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep reading chat and I keep realizing I haven't watched that far in DS9 yet, so there are spoilers.
Oh, really? How far into DS9 are you?
Third season?
Okay. Have you encountered the USS Odyssey yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm not sure. We might even have not quite finished this. I thought
You
we
have not
the second
finished season 2 yet.
I
then.
thought we finished season 2 and that we're on to season 3. I cannot remember.
Season 2 ends on a hell of a cliffhanger. It's actually like probably a top 5 ever episodes of Star Trek.
Maybe we did. Oh wait, is the last episode in season 2 the Gem Hadar?
Yes.
Then I've seen it.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are into season 3. Okay, that's right. We stopped season 2 and we're like, we'll get to that soon. So, yeah. That's okay. I will stop reading. It doesn't really matter. The show's been out forever and you guys post whatever the hell you want. I am not concerned about spoilers so much, but like I already know what the hell section 22 or whatever the hell it is that is going on there and
Well, you're way ahead of most people who worked on Star Trek.
yeah. I guess I should say I'd heard it referred to and a lot of things were talked about with it and I'm like, okay, well I already know some things about characters then, that's fine. I don't really care. We'll see how this plays out. It is not a huge priority for me to finish DS9 at this point in my life.
You'll get there. When it's time. Oh, Cam, you're gonna love these little guys. I hope. Urgh. Here's a couple for you. I
All
got
right, I
one
just
more.
need one, really.
Well,
Oh,
you've got,
that's nice.
you've got 3.
Now they'll clang together
This one's
like robot testicles.
let's see.
All right, actually, this needs a little bit of water. Just like a drop.
Drop of
BRB.
water. All right.
Yeah, I don't want to squeeze any out of my thing for you.
Robot testicles.
Yeah. Robodisties. Okay, apparently I can swap the mode pretty easily.
Mode. So, mode. Exactly what does that mean by swapping?
By swapping mode, I mean I'm going to swap the type, whether we're net booting or regular booting off
okay.
this,
Cool.
because that's pretty easy to do apparently. It's just underneath the thing, and I found some pinouts for it, which means I can get it done without too much effort. Hello, how did you do this? There you go. Boy, I got a lot of stuff to clean up here before we can go home.
You what?
Hmm? Okay, keeping my eye on the chat. Right. I forgot about that.
What'd you forget about?
There's a thing under there. It falls down.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yep. Oh, wow. What is that and why is it that ugly?
Something proprietary under it?
Yeah, that would make sense. Oh, boy.
Does that piece of tape say if you're reading this, it's too late?
No.
Okay, good.
Where did my screwdriver? There it is.
Shake, shake, shake,
Senor. Work it all the time.
No, it definitely beat the piss out of it. It's still a terrible color. But, here we are. Oh yeah, okay, that's much better now. Still not good, but at least workable.
There we go.
I can work with this.
Was it just getting more solids back into the...
Yeah. It'll take a couple of coats, but painting should take a couple of coats. Never attempt one coat coverage.
Not worth
That
it.
way it just lies like globs of paint. Loss of detail.
Ha.
I mean, thinyourpaints.mp4. We've all seen it. We all know it.
So I completely forgot about that little metal bracket in there that we discovered the first time. Not sure if you can see it. Yeah, there it is. Right here. This asshole.
I'm coming over to you, Ian. Hang on.
Thanks. Oh, good. I can use my magnetic screwdriver. This thing just comes right off and falls in like a little behind.
I feel like you should probably put a note on it that says, if you're reading this, it's too late, you idiot. Or maybe one above it that says, don't open this without... Like, don't forget the metal bracket.
Huh, you know what? Fun fact, it looks like we were actually already on GD-ROM boot. But we have the NetBoot chip installed, and I don't think that I have the GD-ROM chip here. But that's okay. That's okay. Hello, Sack.
Ben also hates this thing. So, yeah.
Well, let's turn it over to NetBoot, because we might as well see if we can get that working while we're here. That's what we're doing, right? Yes, that's what we're doing. We're doing
Experimenting, fundamentally.
Yeah, tinkering, one might say.
The name of the show is just still really OP. It's so good.
I really should file for a trademark.
Actually, yeah.
Whew. Okay, jumpers flipped. Let's stick that back in there. I'm not going to button it up yet.
Thank you, Osk. Don't worry about it, Beach.
Okay. I can't read the speech bubble, and it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, are you done fixing the... No, it's still... we're still working on resizing the partition. But we'll see if the boot process on the Naomi changes at all with it in NetBoot mode now. Exciting times. I'm also enjoying this blonde sour with pear.
I will say that Section 31 are actually great villains for the Federation.
I mean, they're very good, but they're no Psy-Corps.
Well, I mean, like they're the people who are doing what nobody else is willing to do in order to get what needs to be done. You know, you're sitting here all buttoned up, safe and snug in space, but we're the ones doing all the dirty work. And it's like,
In
are you
space.
really though? Are you? I mean, that's the justification for villains. That's what the Ring is, right? You know, the willingness to dominate all life.
Yes.
Right? It's the dark hero impulse. I'll take this on and do this so that other people can live in a free world or a happy world or live lives of peace. I'll just be the one who has to do all the nasty stuff.
Yeah, don't you worry about it.
I'm willing to do this.
I'm a hero.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is supposed to... Nope. So it clicks in like that. The worst.
Could you just electrical tape it in place?
I probably could.
Okay.
I don't even know.
Like why it has no way to actually adhere itself?
It hangs on like this.
Yeah.
These little tabs. And then it also, there's a screw, which just holds this thing on. And it's infuriating. Where does that actually sit? Like, I'm wondering if I could just screw it in beforehand. And I think I can. It's worth trying at least. Yay! Changes to the disk applied. Eject the disk. Stick it in the pie. 22 blackbirds, etc., etc. And as many skidoos.
There was a
Is that what that line is?
No, that was completely improvised. What was...
Oh, okay.
Was I quoting something?
Something skadoosh.
Oh, no, I was thinking 23 skidoos.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Joe, what do you know?
there's a there was an article recently on some sort of service. I don't know because I didn't go read it. I read the blog post about it, where they were saying, yeah. So do you really need to unmount a USB device or an SD
Oh,
card
yeah,
before you
that
pull
was
it out?
on, linked via Daring Fireball.
Yeah, and it's great because the article itself says no, you don't. You just, when you put stuff on there and the copy's over, you could just remove it. I mean, the only reason to actually unmount it is if you care about data integrity.
Yeah, it's almost
Like what?
no, Beach. They're completely right on that note. I mean, it's literally just like being in a car.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait for the car to come to a complete stop before you get out. You just you should if you care about
Ankles.
shin integrity.
Yeah. And I just, when I saw that, it's like, you don't have to do it. You just have to do it if you care about data integrity. I'm like,
I mean,
That's how I live my life.
yeah.
yeah, it's like, okay, then I guess I do, right?
Then
Like,
I guess I do it every time.
is that like the
No,
that
I
article
don't.
that was
I
going
just dismissed the warning.
Yeah.
was that like the article about the guy who was like, WASD is for little babies. Let me show you how I play.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like thumb on like spacebar and X and pinky finger on control and like
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. It was the hot takes were flowing fast and free on Video Game Critic Twitter, being like, "This has made me buy a PlayStation. I'm done with this platform."
See, now the fun thing about that is back in the old days of Marathon, back before WASD was the thing, there was experimentation in keyboard setups.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, I played Doom with the arrow keys.
Yep.
So with
Yep.
my right hand, and then my left hand was like jump with space or open doors with space, and then control was fire, I'm pretty sure, and then like shift was to run. So you had to be able to have two fingers on both of those keys at the same time, so you could run and fire.
Oh, mine was numpad for movement.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that space for jump. space was fire because you still had to fire with the keyboard.
Yeah.
So space for fire, shift for secondary fire, caps lock for run, tab for open doors, control for secondary trigger. And then arrows for look up, look down. So I had this claw of the 3 fingers on the numpad, and then my thumb working the up and down for looking. It was not good.
Like, I remember getting used to all the different, like, most of them made some amount of sense, but then you had like Crusader No Remorse actually is a really good example. I bring that up earlier, but here we are again. That their control scheme was based all around the numpad, and you should never have to hit, I think, anything other than the numpad, except maybe the spacebar to actually fire.
Okay.
And so it was like, do you need to roll to the left or roll to the right? Do you need to sidestep left or sidestep right? All that is just is like, it's the 7 and 9, or it's the 1 and the 3, right? And then 5 was for something. 5 was to crouch and to stand up, and everything was kind of built in. And I'm like, you could do this all on the numpad, except I think fire, or maybe fire was 0. I can't remember, but it's like it's a one-handed control. And I was like, this is a really neat way to do it,
Right.
But it's also complicated.
Right.
And then at some point, with first-person shooters becoming the norm, WASD and mouse look just became how you did things, and I couldn't get used to it for the longest time.
Sorry, we're pronouncing it incorrectly. WADs.
Yeah, Ryson in the chat has posted a PC Gamer article where someone is using WASD with their pinky on the A.
Interesting. So they have 4 fingers allocated.
No, just 3.
Oh, but they decided to use their pinky. Oh, okay.
Checking network.
That's exciting.
Ooh.
We'll see if this does something.
So the idea is that it's checking the network. If it finds what it needs from the Raspberry Pi, then it'll go into a netboot mode, essentially. Or rather, that's what it's attempting to do right now.
Yeah.
It's in that mode, and it's trying to see, can I actually negotiate what I need?
Yeah, it's starting to work.
Interesting.
So Pi Force 1. Okay. Interesting. So there's a Pi Force web that'll put out a wireless site for me to work on this without having to use the screen for it. But let me see if there's a command line Pi Force. With Raspberry Pi. I don't want to have to use the screen. Don't make me use the screen.
Oh, yeah. I've been working on his belly plate.
Wow.
And then on the back, I think I'm happy with how the runes look. I think I might do a final pass with just some, like, straight up titanium white.
Could you compare it to the other figure to show how the blue kind of works together?
Yeah. Like, if you compare it to the elven figure, you'll see her blue is much milder. Whereas the dwarven one is much more intense. Like, because she is, a mist weaver. right? So I'm assuming that a big part of her thing is stealth, or at least mobility and maybe a subtler elven magical power, whereas the dwarf is like, I hammered these things into my skin and now they're glowing, and you get to die.
They didn't kill me, so now it's your turn.
They didn't kill me, but they might kill you. So yeah, I think I like how that looks, while still maintaining the kind of overall cohesion of these units, with like the red hair and yeah. Okay, I think this is going to work. They all look a bit different, but they have their own character. They have a collective identity. Oh yeah, using oil paints for washes is really interesting because they have a different viscosity, so they settle more and they don't dry as quickly.
Okay, good. So I need to reboot without the without it connected to the network, and then do some network settings.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's good. It's also good to know that my tiny VGA cable is bad. Bad. Gateway cannot be found. That's fine, though. All right, well, I've just engaged dim test. That's something. So I can't seem to find anything about running this PyTools without some sort of interface or from the command line, which makes me really kind of honked off.
Well, what does the screen add into the thing? Like, does the screen have controls built into it too?
Yeah, it's a shield board that includes a four-way control, select and cancel, and then a screen for reading out what you're loading.
Okay. So you need to have access to that somehow, or you need to be able to send the right commands.
Yeah. Or I need a wireless card that's compatible with the Raspberry Pi to run it off of.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And I don't think we have any Netgear WG111V2s.
Just lying around.
No, I think we have D-Link USB. I thought we did anyway. I have a D-Link USB wireless card lying around, but yeah.
A D-Link, you say?
Yeah. I don't know if it's the same hardware or not, or a similar thing.
You know, some D-Links are supported.
I'll go look in the bin.
Thank you.
That was a very Baldric-like delivery. Thank you, Beach.
I'll go look in the bin. This is a Raspberry Pi. Is it even a version 2? It's got to be a version 2. Let's download the Raspberry Pi. Okay, well at least the dim board looks good.
Your dim board looks good. So I'm sorry, that came from a place of anger.
All right. Maybe if we take that out. Why did the Pi screen go dark?
I don't know, Ian. Why did the Pi screen go dark?
To get to the other side? No.
Holy shit, has that joke always been about death?
Yes. That joke is literally hilarious.
Wow. No, that
Oh, okay.
changes some things. We can probably put this back in by itself. Now that I know how it works. The Pi screen went dark because it engaged its screensaver. Less punchy as a punchline, Anarin, but I appreciate the accuracy. Sometimes jokes don't have to be funny; they just have to be accurate.
Wow!
Ow. Not always. Power is on. Good. All right, we'll need to depower that anyway, so that we can put the new thing on it. Boot. Select to choose what happens to removable devices. How about nothing? Nothing happens. We're just gonna wipe this disk again. I like that we're always able to get a fairly good discussion about Star Trek going here. Yes, please watch. Will it tell me it's launched? It does not tell me it's launched again. All right, let's disk. Delete all partitions. Is it? The right lever on this SD card is extremely loose, which means even...
Oh, can it fall out?
It just means that even inserting it into the computer can remove can put it to right lock mode. Which is fine. Okay. And then back to downloads. Let's uncompress PyForce Web. The nice thing is that if it works, it'll work forever. And we never have to change anything.
Just never turn it off.
Hey, welcome to the Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry, Richards, where we have the loosest cards in the moon base.
Gross.
Joxer, we're trying our best. No luck, Beach?
Could not find them.
That's...
I can't believe that one of the things we actually did get rid of out of the moon base.
It's just fine. I'm not sure what that's supposed to imply.
What's that?
Chat while discussing Star Trek.
That's Revenge of the Nerds.
Ah.
That's the ending of the first movie.
Wow,
What
it's
do you mean first movie?
They made several. 3, I believe. Might have been 4, but I'm pretty sure they made 3.
Gross.
There was like full frontal nudity in the first movie.
Huh.
Yeah.
kind of surprising. But
Yeah.
apply force web. Boop. Put it in the disk 3. Give me a new partition right there. Give me a fresh boy. Disk 3. Apply. Okay. I can say Mini Tool Partition Wizard free 10.2.3 Mini Tool is not bad.
It certainly has a memorable name.
Really? What does it do?
Haven't figured it out yet.
Well, it launches, for one thing, and it won't let you forget.
Though it makes you think you did something wrong.
Oh, track point. I do love you. Okay, let's write that out and see if we can get something to happen.
I had a track point mouse.
Mm-hmm.
It had a saddle on top
Mm-hmm.
with a track point embedded into it. So it was your standard mouse with 2 clicky buttons.
But like a U-shaped saddle.
Yeah.
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 Like the middle of a camel hump.
Yeah, essentially. And you rested your middle finger in it, and you could push up and down, of course, to scroll. But you could also press it left and right, and you could scroll left and right. It never worked for me. Like, I used Linux, and you're supposed to be able to just, like, denote every sort of motion. It did not know how to deal with that track point very well. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's a weird. The track points are a weird thing.
Yeah. Well, it didn't expect that. A mouse within a mouse, right? So.
On the Mac, the track point isn't really well supported. People haven't. No one's wrote any proper drivers for it, and so it works half the time, and it's okay. But sadly, it'll never be 100%. 29%. Well, I suppose I can put the cowling back on the netboot. On the ROM section here, I am not powered. Good, I can get yanked. And then we can. That is the most annoying thing. This little piece of metal, which does nothing but make my life terrible. Okay, just enough to keep it engaged, but enough to keep it loosey-goosey that it can be installed. Here we go. And that will put it back into position. Everything's good. There we go. It's one screw in. Put the other one over here because that's just a hole that leads to nowhere.
I'm in a hole to nowhere.
Leads to me. Boy, I need to listen to some Ozzy again. Just
Talking Heads.
sorry. Yes, those
Yeah,
were two
but
different
he also
songs.
means that too.
Need to listen to both of those for a bit.
At the same time.
That'll be good.
See, I would love for Road to Nowhere to be like the Desert Bus theme song.
No, it's Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Psycho killer. Qu'est-ce que c'est? It's
Yeah, I Ba 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 ba.
It's also not Talking Heads, but it's
It's but it's closer. It's closer to Talking Heads.
Wait, is Psycho Killer not Talking Heads?
I thought it was, isn't it Pixies?
No, it's David Byrne with the Talking Heads. Yeah, you're right. I thought you might be calling me out for it being a David Byrne solo project, but no, I think it is Talking Heads.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just stupid.
No, that's that position on this show is taken.
I'm here.
I think there's more space in the idiot. There's always more space in the idiot hole.
You're right.
Because they keep digging. The nice thing about the idiot hole is they just keep going. They just keep working hard at digging more.
Going to town.
Get into the idiot hole.
I'm already in there. Oh, so you are.
What, you mean the combination Pizza Hut Taco Bell?
Oh,
Jamaica Avenue.
Ah! Well, at least the right was successful.
I want to eat some Taco Bell again so I can remember if I'm wrong.
Has that mystical property?
I don't know what happened at PAX South. I had really good food from Taco Bell and regretted the fact that I tried to eat anywhere else the entire weekend.
Oh yeah, because it was like $5 for like a pail of food, wasn't it?
Food, so much food I couldn't finish it, which upset me.
Like that should just be the motto for America.
So much food.
America, so much food you won't be able to finish it at first.
I've always
Well, that's the internal American motto. The external one is so much food it'll make you angry.
I should have I've always discounted Taco Bell food because I was like, this is like a thin brown smear and a memory of cheese, and I can't understand what's going on. Like, why am I paying $1.50 for this? And because Taco Bell in Canada, I just assumed it sucked, and everyone loves it in the States. I'm like, well, maybe just our version is just awful. And then when I was down in Texas and I had the $5 combo box, I don't know what the hell they called it, but when I had it, I was like,
The bean cube.
yeah, I got an awful lot of food here. I got way too much food here. I'm mad that I tried to make do with anything else all weekend. I could have just done this once a day and had plenty of food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is the paradox.
Yeah. And I'm using food as a loose term here. I mean, like, I mean caloric fuel is what I'm really referring
Yeah,
to.
exactly. Like the Japanese have Calorie Mate, Americans have Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Let's try that again. I'm sorry. Hearing you say you went to Texas
Yeah.
and had Taco Bell got me a little bit angry.
Yeah.
I mean, we were across the street from a food court and could kind of get like 20 minutes away from the booth at a time.
Oh, that food court?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one where you can
Yes.
buy a 64 ounce of beer or something for like $5 or something.
Yeah, it's like, do you want the 64 ounce or the large? It's like, how big is that large?
They were having beer wars between the two places. I just have never been in a food court where you can just buy beer at a kiosk.
Oh, hey, checking network. So it looks like it might connect to
What do you think?
something.
Let's see here.
Arclight Dynamo knows the joke.
I'll get her old.
It's from a Bill Hicks routine. It's like I was driving through Alabama and stopping at truck stops for coffee, on his flying saucer tour.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy behind the counter would be like, you want the 32 ounce or the large? And he's like, how big is that large? And it's like, well, you go back up your car around back and I'll start the pump. And he's like, I don't know if I want to be awake in Alabama for that long.
All right. I think we've got ourselves to a fairly decent point here in the evening. What about you, Cam?
Yeah, I think He's not finished, but oh man, was the hard part done now?
Hey, that sounds like what life is like on this side of the table.
We're alive.
We are indeed alive. So
Let's start a softball team.
yeah, no.
You know what? I'm gluing his face on.
Sounds good. While you do that, I'm going to thank everyone for tuning in tonight and sitting around while we fart around with machines and models. And if we didn't get a lot done, at least we had fun.
Indeed.
Yeah, and that's kind of what this is all about. So, as I said, thank you for showing up and watching, and thanks especially to those of you who chose to show your support for all our streams over at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, and especially to those of you who chose to show your support tonight via your bits and subscriptions, which means we should probably remind you who you all were. And I'll let you finish up your gluing there while we're
Okay.
doing that until we're... well, Endro Fox has subscribed for 16 months. Always wanted to own some arcade hardware like the Naomi. All I need is more space and money and patience to embark on a complex rewiring activity. Simple, really. I mean, it's, yeah, as you can see, working great. Jamie X. O has subscribed for 3 months. Yay, more Tinker Tailor.
Lurker Spine has come back for the 39th month. It's entirely too hot today, over 40 degrees Celsius. Thanks for TTSF, so I have something to chill to while I cool down.
Stay cool. That's not right. DSPMU has subscribed for 20 months. Thank you for rejoining us.
Mass39 is a brand new subscriber. Thank you for deciding to support the channel.
The File Clerk has subscribed for 5 months. Stream.exe has stopped working. Please restart and insert.
Azure Heights has reset for the 6th month. Nothing like listening to the TTSF boys while last minute labeling a metric bus ton of data cables for a tag sale.
Ooh.
Neat.
Loud Deodorant has subscribed for 12 months. 12 months feels like 12 years, mostly because it's been working on my thesis for a substantial part of that time. Good luck on that.
All hail the pan has reset for the 20th month. Thank you very much.
Grunkus Dunkus has subscribed for 22 months. I was browsing YouTube, and I saw that Peach or Barf was over a year ago. Good lord, was it? Time flies. Love you guys.
Brixen has come back for the 16th month. Thank you very much.
It's Cheesemo, who is subscribed for 6 months. Thank you for your continued support.
Lanthus has come back for the 22nd month. Thank you for your enduring support.
And Pinnacle Chaos is back for their 41 month. Thank you so much.
Mox Hagdorm has come back for the 12th month. The 1 year. It would have been longer, but I didn't know if I could give you guys Amazon's money until a year ago. Keep on being awesome.
Fatty McGiggles has subscribed for 13 months, and that's 13 months that I didn't realize that we had a subscriber named Fatty McGiggles. Thank you.
Ice Light has come back for the 19th month. Last minute button click.
And I've got to thank you for those 597 bits, specifically to E Block Type 1 and VK Dragon Tech. Thank you so much for those bits.
I really appreciate how you as well also voice the underscores.
It's something I picked up from you, and I think it's important. They're there for a reason.
Solidarity.
Thank you. And thank you, and thank you, and thank you. That's Corey and Beej in particular. And one last time, thank you over at home. We'll see you next... No, actually, that's right. I'm going to be taking a break from Tinker Tailor Solder Fry for the month of July, or for the remainder of July, and for the month of August, because I am going to be taking a course at the, thanks to the British Columbia government, professional development, I'm going to be learning JavaScript front-end stuff. So that's going to be fun and
awesome.
Hopefully super useful.
Yeah.
So we'll have Cam and others around to keep up the stream while I'm gone, but just keeping you heads up there. Corey, do we have a straw poll today? We do not have a straw poll. Okay. Well, in that being the case, thanks so much for watching. You'll see this show in a fortnight or so, and as we always say, ever forward.
Never learning.
Take care.